I think Bernardo Gui is a great character to play because he's, I suppose, the villain of the piece, which is always makes things easier. And also he has lots of great things he does. He burns everyone at the stake. He is very passionate about what he believes the direction the church should take. And I found that playing him was great for me. I have a background in Catholicism. I was at school in a monastery. So the whole notion of Catholicism in the Middle Ages is very interesting. It doesn't make any difference to me or to play someone who actually existed even though I think probably Umberto Eco was quite careful in making him as accurate as he could. But I think it doesn't really make that much difference when a character is so far removed from our own times. I suppose my interpretation of Bernardo really comes from the script. He has a very clear journey. He wants to get rid of the Franciscan order of monks because they worship poverty, and he doesn't. He's a follower of the Avignon Pope, so he's very much on one side of the debate in the Catholic Church at that time. And that's been written fairly carefully and clearly in the script. So really and truly, I've just followed the directions really from the writing in the script. A lot of the dialogue in the script is taken from Umberto Eco, from the book straight. So I think it's a fairly accurate portrait of him. I mean, what I've tried to do is to not just make him one-dimensionally evil. I think he believes what he is doing is right, which is an extraordinary thing for us today to imagine, because he doesn't have the same value for human life that we do. And his whole obsession is about a very particular reading of scripture, biblical scripture. So I think I've tried to incorporate all that and incorporate a kind of human passion for what he's doing as well. Shooting in Italy has been always a great part of my life. I've made, I think, 4 or 5 films here, and this is my first TV series I've done here. I love working with Italian crews, Italian designers, cinematographers, although ours is Irish, and there is always a certain aesthetic stamp on an Italian production, which I love. And so for me, it's always been a great experience working here. Shooting in Cinecittà is quite extraordinary because it's almost decrepit now, and so there's something very sad and poetic and end of the era, fin de siècle about it. It's falling to pieces, rather like me, and so I enjoy all the whispered history around it. It's a great place to come to work, and it's exciting to be walking in the footsteps of so many of my own personal heroes. Working with Giacomo was great. We met last year and started talking. He's a very sensitive, very intelligent, intellectual, literate director. Doing a thing this big is quite difficult because you move from episode 1 to episode 5 to episode 3 to episode 8, so you have to understand what you're doing and where you are pretty much on your own, because from his point of view it's moving so fast that it's not like being in a film really, where you've got a 90-minute job to pull off, and it's easier to chart your course. In this you have to be absolutely sure what you're doing at each particular scene, and so that involves a bit of preparation. But it's been great working with him, and great working with our Italian costume designer, who I've worked with many times, and the hair and makeup, who I've worked with many times, and also the Italian and German actors, who are all fantastic, and English.